What is up, my fellow gamers? In today's video, we got our traits guide for the brand new official global launch of Elder Scrolls Castles. Like and sub for more amazing gaming content. This game is a ton of fun. One of the most important things is to understand how the traits work in this game for your characters, because it plays a huge impact on the production, on your ruler, just many different factors involved. So I went ahead and I came up with a list. I got the best traits, the worst traits, and we also have some really good traits to look out for when you are selecting a ruler. So for good traits, the first one we got, let me go ahead and click this to turn this on so you can see my little list I got here, is going to be the leader trait. The leader trait, having one of these in each production is pretty much crucial and the most important thing. What I mean by that is, for any station, you want to have at least one character in there that has a leader trait. So if I go ahead and I check out this one, we've got this guy right here. He has the leader trait, and the leader trait's important because what it does is, you can see, rallies coworkers to work faster, their happiness with theirs over time. So the leader trait is great if you do have some people who aren't happy. Throw them in a station with someone who is a leader, and eventually over time their mood will start to balance out and they won't be grumpy or in the yellow anymore. They'll go back to like the green. As long as the leader's happy, they'll be happy over time. The other thing that's also important to note is the leaders, they sometimes can randomly trigger one of those speed potions. So if you click on one of your stations, we have this right here. It's a potion of speed. Anytime you have a leader in one of your stations, they can just randomly trigger this, and it's for free. So it will not use any of the ones that you already have stacked up. So right now I have 5, but just having a leader, it's kind of like a random chance. They'll just instantly speed up production. And I'm also mentioning this because once you do go ahead and you unlock the bed, you can then start breeding your characters, and it's based on traits. It's still a little bit RNG, but going ahead and putting 2 characters with really good traits together gives you a better chance that the offspring that they have is going to acquire one of those really good traits. That way you can just keep your civilization going and keep it in the most positive state possible. The next one we got is going to be mighty. They're good for fighting with melee weapons, and also they're going to improve your productivity for the oil press and the smithy. Next one we got is perceptive. They're good for fighting with a bow, and also they're going to improve your productivity for the mill and the sewing table. Next one we got is going to be the Pyromaniacs. Now they're really good for fighting with staffs, and they also improve productivity for your kitchen as well as the smithy and furnace. Next one's going to be tribal. They are good when they are working together with their family members. Now, how do you check if they have family members? You're going to go ahead, you're going to click on one of the characters. So we'll go ahead and click on one of these. And then if we flip their card, which I'm in the way, but right there, that little like flip icon in that bottom left corner of their card, when you click that, it flips their card over. And then what that does is, let me make this a little bit smaller. It shows you kind of like a breakdown of different things. It shows you who their child is, their parents, siblings, their lover, and who their enemy is. Now, unfortunately, you can't really take them away from their enemy, even if you put them in a different room, a different station or stuff, because they tend to just wander around. So they're going to bump into their enemy eventually. So there's nothing you can personally do about that. But this at least gives you kind of like a breakdown on what their family tree is, who they like, who they dislike, stuff like that. From there, we have headstrong. They're good with shields and improve productivity at the smith and the workshop. Then we have the considerate, best with the staff of thorns, and improves productivity for the kitchen and the loom. And then finally, that last one, let me move myself over. We have enduring. Enduring is good for rulers because you get a lot of gems as a bonus if you keep them alive for a long time. So enduring means they're gonna live for a long time, but you just have to be careful that no one goes ahead and assassinates them, because if you choose a lot of like bad rulings over here, when you have these little rulings that you got to do, right? If you choose one that upsets somebody, you can see the little meter. If they get angry or whatever, their mood changes, they can just go ahead, assassinate the king, the leader, and then you got to choose a whole new leader for your castle. All right, the next one we got is going to be the bad traits. Now these ones I definitely recommend that you do not kind of use characters to breed in any of these ones. The other thing to mention is if you have a character, let's say that you're struggling to keep their happiness up, and you're afraid that they might go ahead and assassinate your leader, what you can do is you can just banish them. Pretty much just throw them out of the castle, get rid of them. I would only do that if you have a healthy amount of people in your castle already. So if you're running low, if you really need people for production and stuff, then I wouldn't do it. Otherwise, if their mood is bad, or even if they have any one of these bad traits that I have listed, you can just go ahead and banish them. Now you're probably wondering, well, how do I banish them? So what you're gonna do is you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna click on a character, long click so you can drag them around. And as you have a hold of that character, you're just gonna go ahead to the outside of your castle and drop them. And it's gonna say exile. So it says, this person will leave the castle, never to return. Warning, banishment is permanent. So pretty much you're just gonna banish them, get rid of them. So if you make a mistake, we'll just keep because we don't wanna banish them. I was just showing you an example of how to do it. Five is gonna be right here. We got bossy. They cause lots of troubles. They do increase production, but it makes the other workers a lot unhappy over time. We have melodramatic. They just kind of constantly cause problems. Envious, always making problems at work if they are not the most productive. We have devious, always making problems, spreading rumors. You can keep them in the war room once you do have the war room. I don't have the war room just yet. And you can equip them with daggers if you have a strong set of daggers. So you can kind of make them like a little bit useful if you do that. Otherwise, you know, it's not the greatest to keep them. And then the last two we have is emotional and haunted. The haunted one is pretty useless. If you've ever seen the haunted one, it basically means they're a slacker. They slack off at work, and occasionally they'll wander off from their station and you'll see like a ghost appear, and the ghost will start doing their work for them. It's really, it doesn't help. It's not even comparable to like the good traits. You get so much more out of the good traits compared to the bad ones. So try and avoid characters that have these traits, banish them, or just don't have, or just don't breed with them, and try and keep like those good traits. We then have the best trait combinations for rulers. So if you want to have a ruler who's going to be very productive, you're going to have lots of good production from your stations. You're going to want to go with mighty, headstrong, perceptive, considerate, or tribal. Any combination of those is going to help out. And then if you want someone who's going to be more damage oriented, so going on quests in the map, going against the dragon and stuff like that, just kind of more focused on damage, then you're going to go with pyromaniac, heartless, volatile, and tribal. Those ones are going to be for the highest damage output ruler. And then from there, I got a quick little breakdown of my rating for the traits. We have considerate at an A+, enduring at an A, mighty at an A, headstrong A-, tribal as a B+, perceptive B+. Jester is where it starts to kind of fall off. Volatile isn't that great, but it can be in certain situations, but it's not the greatest. Pyromaniac, envious, heartless, reckless, and then we got bossy, sophisticated, devious, emotional, and haunted. Those ones are all pretty bad that you kind of want to avoid at all costs. The other thing you also want to do is make sure you go ahead and you upgrade your buildings anytime you have the chance to. You're going to know that an upgrade is ready when you see it glowing with the little star icons. So right now you can see these little stars going right here. If I click on this, I have the sewing table ready for an upgrade. In the top left corner, you can see this little glowy icon pointing arrow up. Click on this and we have an upgrade ready. So we'll go ahead, we'll do this upgrade, and we'll just now have access to more things. Also, upgrading your stations gives you a dramatic amount of XP for your account level, and you really wanna level up your account as much as possible so that way you get access to new features. This instance, it's called the Dynasty level, but it's basically your account level. So right now we just got the music stage going on. Whatever the ruler's trait is, it will go ahead and it will affect all of your characters in there. So let's say you have a ruler who's like a pyromaniac, or someone who is what's the other one, like mighty or something. It's going to affect all of the other characters. So pyromaniac would make all of your characters better at using fire stuff. Mighty will make all of your characters better at using melee weapons. That is it. I hope you guys and girls enjoyed the video. If you got any questions, leave them down below. I'll try and make some more videos on this game over the next few days. Stay happy, stay safe. I'll see y'all later. Peace.